Welcome everyone. In this video, I'll highlight the topics that I think are most likely to occur on the AQA A-level Chemistry Paper 2 exam. These predictions are based on my analysis of the 2024 and 2025 past papers and examiners reports. There's a link in the description to a playlist that contains individual exam question walkthroughs related to the topics highlighted here. Let's get started. First of all, let's look at the big hitters. These are recurring topics that crop up almost every year and carry a lot of marks. For physical chemistry, you can expect rate equations and Kp. These are often presented as multi-step calculation questions. 2024 and 2025 both featured the Arrhenius equation and calculating activation energy EA from a graph. You also had to determine rate equations from initial rate data and calculate Kp including partial pressures. You should also expect organic synthesis and mechanisms to feature heavily. You will almost certainly be asked to outline a synthesis or draw a mechanism. Examples of mechanisms that you must be familiar with include nucleophilic addition, electrophilic substitution, and nucleophilic addition elimination, but there are others. Questions involving chemical analysis always crop up, and you should be familiar with NMR spectroscopy, both carbon-13 and NMR. Focus on splitting patterns, the N+1 rule for proton NMR, chemical shifts using the data table, and using integration ratios to deduce unknown structures. And finally, the reactions of benzene and its derivatives, such as phenol or phenylamine, frequently appear in long-form questions. These could also be linked to a mechanism, for example, Friedel-Crafts acylation. Next, let's look at the topics that were underrepresented in the 2024 and 25 papers which are due a comeback. Amino acids, proteins and DNA. Although questions on this topic have appeared recently, you might expect a more detailed look at Zwitter ions, peptide bond hydrolysis, or the hydrogen bonding in DNA-based pairs. Chromatography often appears as a smaller mark question or as part of a larger practical question. Ensure that you can explain RF values and retention times. And finally, polymers. Condensation polymers, polyesters and polyamides. Be ready to draw the repeating unit from monomers or vice versa. Next, let's take a look at the common pitfalls highlighted in the 2024 and 2025 examiners reports. Students often lost marks when translating skeletal formulae into display structures by adding too many or too few hydrogen atoms. Remember, hydrogen makes one bond, oxygen usually makes two bonds, and carbon makes four bonds when dealing with stable organic molecules. When drawing mechanisms, ensure that curly arrows start precisely at a lone pair or the centre of a bond. A common error in 2025 was missing the negative sign on the OH- ion. Take care when dealing with positive and negative numbers. In calorimetry or bond enthalpy calculations, many students managed to calculate the correct magnitude but provided the wrong sign for their final answer. When you are asked, make sure that you state the correct specific use for a chemical substance. For example, many students stated that aromatic amines were used as dyes. This is incorrect. Aromatic amines are used to manufacture dyes. There are 12 required practicals that you should be familiar with. For 10A, focus on the purification process, filter under reduced pressure, the use of a Buchner funnel, and recrystallization using the minimum volume of hot solvents, etc. For the preparation of an organic liquid, 10B, know the purpose of each step, such as using a separating funnel or adding a drying agent like anhydrous calcium chloride. Rates of reaction are covered in required practical 7. Be prepared to explain how to process data from disappearing cross or continuous monitoring methods in order to find rate of reaction. These predictions are based on a trend analysis of the 2024 and 2025 papers and examiners reports. They are intended to guide your focus, not to replace a comprehensive revision plan. You must plan to revise the entire specification. Prioritise your revision based on individual feedback, personal assessments, and areas where you feel the least confidence. Chemistry exams can be unpredictable. Be prepared for anything. Thanks for watching. I hope you found the video useful. There's a link in the description to a playlist. The playlist contains exam question walkthroughs on the topics highlighted here. Please post in the comments if you have any questions or suggestions. Take care and good luck with your exams.